Coach Donna here. Having a restful day today, just because I woke up this morning and it was a hazy, kind of lazy day. So I thought about meditation and I wanted to just kind of soak in the peace of the day. And I was really good at soaking in the peace of the day until I had to get up, get dressed, and go out. I had a meeting on the phone, and then I had a meeting in person. And then I had some other stuff that I needed to get done. And the pressure of all that I'm trying to do kind of started pushing in on me a little bit, as my checklist of everything that I haven't done yet just kind of started going off in my head. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I had to bring myself back to a place where I was just like, stop. Stop all of the push for just a minute. Remember that you woke up today to just a peaceful moment, and you need to make sure that you keep that peaceful moment flowing through your existence. So however that's got to happen, you have to shut that down and just kind of push it to a different place. And remember that everything you need is already taken care of. You just have to live to the day. That is one thing that I am truly learning, is that you really have to live to the day. So all the projects that I have going on in my head, and not just in my head, in my computer, and out and about, they're happening. They are happening. And just when you think, oh my gosh, this is so daunting, and this is so, because you get like that with everything that means a lot to you. You put a lot into it, and you get really, I tell my friends, tilling ain't easy. I think of it, or I liken it to really tilling the soil for the harvest. And right now, I'm in that season where I'm truly blazing new trails in my life. I've never been any of the places that I will be in the next 6 months. Not financially, not emotionally, not physically, not mentally, not spiritually. In the next 6 months, there is going to be such a great shift that I am really and truly just, I can't even imagine the difference in the way it's going to be. And sometimes in the mean times and in between times, and I've talked about this with you before, you just kind of get frustrated and you just kind of go, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I've had this conversation with my friend a couple times where she's really building this fabulous business. And in the middle of it, she's struggling between her family and the obligations that she has as a wife and a mother, and the obligations that she has grown to have as a business owner. And she's just kind of going, oh my gosh, there has to be a point where this gets easier. There has to be a point where the pull is not like this. And I just have to remind her, tilling is just, it ain't easy, sis. It ain't easy. There's no farmer that goes out and says, yep, time to till, yay. Because that's where the work is. That's the beginning of the work. And it doesn't get easier because you decided to till less. No. Because you can till less if you'd like. But then you have the pressure of not doing what you're supposed to do, coupled into everything else that's going on. So I had to just come to the conclusion today that I am in a season of planting. And a season of putting new things in place that have never been in my life or never been in my family's life before. And that forging those new places, they take from you the things that are necessary for you to move beyond into the next space. It's like I always tell people about Christ. And coming to Christ and being a part of Christ. People always say, "Oh, you gotta stop smoking, you gotta stop drinking, you gotta stop all this stuff before you come to God, because He needs you to be a clean vessel and blah blah blah. Now you're in the church and you need to quit." And I just look at them and say, "You need to hush," Because the truth of the matter is, the closer that you get to the master, the more the stuff drops off. And you can't get close to the master and have the stuff. Doesn't work that way. Never has, never will, because he's pure. So you can't get close to pure life and light and love and guidance and God and structure and abundance and peace and joy and happiness, and still carry with you the other stuff, the pain, the hurt, the envy, the anger, the angst, the frustration, the pull that makes you feel like you're in overwhelm. All of those things drop off as you get closer to the place you're going to be. And on the other side of that stuff, it's a memory, a lesson, and a benefit to you that you went through that stuff. And I have to remember that. And I guess it just seems like because I've been going through transition for about 5 years now, and moving from Michigan to California, it took me a couple years to just get my feet wet and be in a place where I was in complete happiness. And I'm here now. I am really happy with my life. I am. And then there's the other part of me that's going, there's more, but there's still more. And so I want to encourage you today, after 5 minutes of talking to you, that if you are in the place where you are tilling, if you're in the place where you are putting things in the ground and planting things differently than you've ever planted them before, don't expect it to be easy. I guess I need to sit up now. Don't expect it to be easy. Don't expect it to be always peachy, always wonderful, always beautiful. Don't expect that, because that's not reality. Reality is that it costs you something to get where you gotta go. It costs you all of the things that will not fit in that life. All of the parts of you that need to get bigger have to get bigger somehow. They don't just get bigger when you get there. They have to get bigger somehow. All of the parts of you that need to die, they don't die without you going through the process to make them die. And all the parts of you that need to be settled won't be settled if you don't go through it. It's the tilling process. And no, it's not always easy. No, it doesn't feel good all the time. Because sometimes, you can whistle while you work. That's why the 7 dwarfs were whistling while they worked. Because even though they were working, they made it something that was enjoyable. And the tilling process can be enjoyable. It's not always you just with your nose to the ground and you hate it. It really is not always that. It really is. My computer's doing something crazy on this side of me. It really is a place where you come from where you were to where you are. It's almost like coming of age. Because the former things, the things that you used to do before you knew all the stuff that you know, were easy to do and get away with. But once you know and you're accountable for it, once you know and you own up to the fact that you know, and you translate that into your level of integrity being higher, you can't go back to the foolishness. And the foolishness might just be eating a cookie at 10 o'clock when you know that you shouldn't. Can't go back. Foolishness might be you got to read this book even though you don't feel like reading. Or you got to study, or you got to focus even though you're tired. Sit in the bed with a book. Because maturity makes you do things differently. And that's what happens in the tilling. You get where you're trying to go, but it costs you a little bit of you every time. All those things that don't need to be there, that you think are you, I should say. Because the real you is waiting on the other side, beyond the stuff. The refined you, the you that you will be able to love, embrace, and share with the world even more, comes after the tilling. Like that diamond being pressed into beauty, and that gold being refined by the fire into beauty. Tilling ain't easy, but it is so necessary. It is so worth it too. Life in 4G is living in God, living a life of giving, living a life of gratitude, and living unapologetically in your greatness. Remember that in the tilling process, there are jewels waiting for you to be found, used, and there's stuff that needs to come off that won't come off. And man, oh man, the bumper crop that's coming is going to be the best. And they get better. So keep tilling, peeps. It's not over until it's over.